Hello friends. So today I wanted to show you or to um, give you some tip or a trick I can say. So most of the time is some of you have been asking on how I trade these indices. As you can see from my previous videos from the bottom, you can go through the chart the videos on how I was trading these indices. But most of you also have been asking on how do I know the direction of the market when the volatility uh, comes on. So first thing first, we have something that is called uh, things that are called indices in our trading. I mean, is the financial markets. So we have indices. On indices here, I can list them down. We have NAS100, we have US30, we have SP500, sorry, SPX 500, we have 030, we have UK 100, we have Frankfurt. We also have a lot of them, house 200, we have Japanese, I don't know, something, I don't know about Japanese. In fact, I haven't been trading this kind of stock, but I mean, stock indices, but these are the list of the indices that I normally trade, starting from NAS100, US30. I don't trade SP500. I trade J30, but the direction of SP500 and NAS100 or SP500 as well as US30, most of the time they're the same, but most of the time 99, 98% are the same. We call them the correlate. J30, UK 100, Frankfurt, and this is from Australia. But the rest, these are from Europe, while these are from US. So their volatility time, it depends on or it depends on the time. So I'll start with US based. So from US based, we have NASA 100, US 30, and SPS 500. So what the time frame that I'll be using GMT plus 2. This is South African time, SAT, South African time. I'll be using South African time, and you have to take a look on yourself and see how they react, on how they initiate volatility. They can move up to a thousand pips in 2 minutes, in 1 minute. So if you're a good scalper, you can scalp twice a day from NAS 100, from US based, and as well from Europe based. So this is simply when the New York Stock Exchange opens. It's when now they react to the market. The I mean New York Stock Exchange or the London Stock Exchange, when it opens, uh, it initiates volatility on these kind of indices. So from US based, when the New York session opens, you will see these um, NAS 100 US 30 as well as SPS 500 initiating some volatility, moving up to sometimes even 3,000 pips just in few minutes. So it's like you're trading the news. It's like you're trading the news. Similar price to J30, UK 100 and for Frank 40. But the ones which are most profitable is J30 and US30. They are very much profitable. So once you master them and you know them how to trade them or to scalp, You can be banking at least even 3,000, 4,000 pips a day. It's a normal thing. It's not gambling since you're trading what you see and what you have been learning. So based on our time frame, I mean based on our time, NAS100, SP500, and US30, they normally react around uh, 4:30 p.m. No, not 4:30. It's 5:30. It's 5:30. 5:30. No, 3. Is it 3? Yeah, 3:30. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Based on South African time, it's 3:30. Yeah, 3:30 p.m. On the other hand, it's 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. I mean, yeah. So from this is Europe, you can change your time. Europe, and this is US. You can change your time. I would love to show you the charts on how they do some reactions, but I think I'll have to make a separate videos. I mean, I'd love I mean to make a separate video on how you can see them, how they do react and move some certain amount of pips in the market. So if you the first secret or the first tip that I gave you, we have these indices that they can be tradable every day, twice a day. So if you have you are a perfect strategy that can help you to analyze the market, or if you can do some research for your own, because I've been doing a research on my own. I mean, I did the research on my own like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I did the research. After I did the research, and I saw that how these market they do uh tend to react at a certain times and how they can be traded, because I used to see most of the South African trade these indices and how do they trade, but I didn't find the right knowledge on how they can trade. Most of you you've been looking at what we call the CNBC app so that you can see how strong, I don't know, Tesla and such application. But that most of the time doesn't work. So you need to rely on the chart and see how the chart gives you some directions. Unless otherwise, once you compare those applications, I don't know, Tesla and I don't know, Facebook, Google, um, and so on, and Apple, and so on and so forth, you'll end up losing. So you need a very powerful strategy that they can help you on how you can be trading these indices in a perfect and correct way. A while ago, I've been providing signals based on how we'll be trading these indices, and I think my clients they they can testify about it on how we be end up a week without even losing these kind of tradings on indices when I provide the signals. But in fact, now these days I don't provide the signals based on the though we have my colleague that he provides the signals based on these indices. Unless otherwise, if you would love to take advantage of this strategy on how you can trade these indices in a proper, correct way, in a professional way, I have some videos that I've prepared only on indices, based on indices, some ebooks, and as well as the videos just to help you on how you can trade them well without even, I mean, we know net profit at the end of the day. I don't mean that we don't get losses. Losses are there. But once you're very careful on how you do your analysis, you won't end up in having some losses with this strategy. So make sure you take a copy of yours. So they will only cost 10 US dollars, only 10 US dollars just to help you. Unless otherwise, other than providing free materials, some free things most of the time don't work if you don't put your work on it. So that's it about the first tip that I've given you. They do have volatility around certain times. You can go on your own and do the research. It doesn't mean that you need to be trading using my strategy. No, you can go on your own and do the research and see how these indices works. And at the end of the day, I'll have to provide you the brokers that they are very good. I mean, they are very good. I mean, you can trade them with even a low capital. You know, those brokers that they have high contract size, you can trade them with less than 100 US dollars. You can trade these indices. But there are brokers that they can provide, you can trade them even with less than $100. You can be earning very well and growing your capital. So I'd love to wish you a wonderful Good Friday and the rest of the holiday that is coming up upon us. And goodbye.